Get away from her, you bitch! Hello everyone, welcome to my review of Aliens. I'm sorry, I could never resist the urge. Oh, I'm sorry. But anyway, and apologies for the delay of this review. I roped myself into doing the Mummy Trilogy reviews for some reason, and I've become ill. I don't know if you can tell, but I have got a cold. So I'll try and get through this without you know, dying. So, I'm exaggerating. I'll be fine. But yeah, so Aliens, the sequel to the movie Alien, which was directed by Ridley Scott. That was in 1979. This movie is directed by James Cameron, who is a pretty big director. I mean, he's directed quite a lot of films like Titanic, Avatar, True Lies, Terminator 1 and 2, you know, so many big movies, and, you know, he's directed some long movies too. Yes, Aliens is no exception. Basically, the plot of Aliens, it continues after Alien. Sigourney Weaver's character, Ripley, has been in cryostasis, I believe it's cryostasis, but don't quote me on it, has been in cryostasis for 57 years, and she finds out that she has a daughter, or she had a daughter. She finds out that her daughter, who is now sort of older and grown up, has died, and that really affects her. Then she gets roped in. She gets roped into going back to the planet to find the aliens. Basically, she only goes back there on condition that they just wipe them out. They don't bring them back for research. They just wipe them out. And she goes back to the planet with a group of colonial marines, and they try to basically wipe out the aliens. And along the way, they meet this little girl called Newt. Well, her name's Rebecca, but they call her Newt. Her parents and her brother have been killed by the alien, and she's been surviving on her own for a long time. And they find her, and they sort of bring her into it as well. And then the movie just becomes a plethora of, you know, tension, action. Basically, it turns into a big survival movie. Oh my gosh, Aliens! If you thought the first movie was great, you haven't seen nothing yet. This movie rocks. This movie rocks the Casbah. Not in that way, but you know what I mean. This movie is just awesome. The first time I've ever seen it, and I can honestly say, I got to tip the hat to James Cameron. Pat on the back. That guy can direct. Oh my god, that movie was tense. What I love about Aliens is that it's an escalation in the story. It's not just the same thing, but done differently. There's actually an escalation. There's a rise in intensity and tension. There's more characters, and, you know, you feel the pain. You feel the pain when the characters die. You feel the deaths. You feel them. They're hard-hitting, and the movie's dark and scary, and it really just throws you in there. I mean, the first movie obviously was slow. It built up to the suspense, and, you know, it was great. This movie is all-out action, pretty much. Well, at least in the second half, anyway. The first half, there is a build-up. I mean, the movie's long. It's 2.5 hours long, but, you know, as you know, James Cameron's films usually are very long. But, you really get the sense that it warrants the runtime because of how much tension there is, and there's a lot of nice character moments too. Like, I was really surprised how much depth there was in the movie, how much emotion they put into the movie. I mean, because the first movie, it was a pretty basic set up with the characters. The characters weren't all that fleshed out, but that wasn't too bad because some of them just die anyway. But in this movie, you care for more of the characters. Like especially, I mean, Sigourney Weaver. She's just amazing as Ripley, or Ellen, as it's revealed her name is. All these reviews are spoilers, by the way. Sorry, I should mention that. And essentially, what I most admire about this movie is the emotion actually works with the suspense and the action. The relationship between Ripley and Newt, so it's a very, very clever thing to do, because we are told at the beginning of the movie that her daughter is dead, and I guess Ripley's daughter is dead, so Newt is kind of an echo, essentially, of a daughter figure, so they have kind of like a mother-daughter relationship, and some of the scenes are just so touching to watch, like the scene when she's tucking her into bed and she's like, I don't want to go to sleep because I have nightmares, all that stuff. It's just, I mean, it's what a normal mother would do, but in that sort of situation, she's this little girl who is terrified, and Ripley has that connection. When Newt gets captured by the alien, she's like, no, she's still alive, like, and obviously a lot more power within the performance. I mean, I'm not gonna, because I've got a cold, but oh my gosh, it's just stunning to watch, and you really care about the characters this time. I mean, yeah, I'm trying to remember the guy's name. Blake, I think he's called. He's a prick. I mean, he wants to take. He planned to impregnate one of the colonial marines, one of the people there to go. He wanted to study the aliens. He wanted to make money out. He wanted to make some money out of it. Basically, I mean, there are so many great character moments. All the characters are really well fleshed out. All the colonial marines, they're really cool. I mean, Hudson did complain a lot in the movie, and that gets a bit tiring. But there you go. But they're all likable, and they're all good at their jobs. And there's a lot of tension with some of the scenes, like when they first go in. Yeah, wow. The movie looks stunning. It does feel like a sequel to the first movie, because it does look similar, like in terms of the designs and cinematography. And Peter Lamont, production design, wow, superb. Everything's just on a bigger scale in Aliens. There's more action, more excitement, more tension, and there's more emotion. There's more depth. It's just a deeper film, and yeah, I can't express how great it is. The acting's really good. The music is intense beyond belief. The direction by James Cameron is superb. This is how you make a sequel. This is how you do it. And, they changed directors, which is really interesting. I don't know exactly why they changed directors, whether Ridley Scott didn't want to do Aliens, or whether he couldn't, I don't know. But, James Cameron, he's a great director. He's now one of my favourite directors because I've seen this movie. I've seen a couple of other of his films. I want to see even more of his films now. I need to see his Terminator films. Yeah, wow, Aliens. I have to feel like I have to, emphasise the "ns" at the end just to state that the separation. But yeah, no, and the door is obviously left open for the third movie to carry on. But I love this movie. Absolutely fantastic. It is a masterpiece. A masterpiece. My only criticisms would be some of the scripts. Some of the lines in the script are a bit cheesy, like, "Drop your grinning and grab your linen," or something like that. Like, what? I mean, don't get me wrong, James Cameron is a great director, but some of his writing, James Cameron can throw out a cheesy ass script, any day of the week. I mean, with Avatar, like all tree hugging crap, and Titanic, like, "Oh, I'm flying." I mean, it's really that's kind of a trend, I guess, with his movies, that he can crank out a cheesy ass script. Well, the whole script isn't cheesy. It's just there are a few lines that are like, really, why is that in this movie? But hey ho, it's a minor gripe. I can pass this off, and yes, the movie's long. It's 2.5 hours long, but stick with it because it is amazing. And there are some scenes that are quite, shocking. I'm not going to mention any in particular, just in case you haven't seen the movie, but this is epic. This movie is pretty epic, and it undoubtedly deserves a 10 out of 10. So much better than the first movie, and I thought the first movie was really good, but Aliens, wow. And I am shocked to hear that the next two movies don't exactly maintain the hype with the series. Alien 3, yeah, that's the next review. Tune in for Alien 3, and then Alien Resurrection, and then I'm going to review Prometheus as well. Yeah. So, I loved Aliens. What did you think? Put your comment down below, let me know. We can talk about this and confer. So yeah, nearing Halloween, thought it was best to review these movies. Anyway, thank you all for watching. This was Mr. TARDIS 11. See ya.